When I was 18, me and some friends of mine decided to go on a camping trip to Apalachicola National Forest near Tallahassee, Florida. We wanted to get as far away as possible from the civilization, so we then found ourselves driving far into the woods. After we found what we thought was a good spot, we had some drinks and finally decided to set up a camp there. Me and one of my friends got bored after some time, so we went to look around and explore the surrounding forest. There was a trail, so we started following it, but the further we went, the more apparent it became that someone was living there. Eventually, we came to the campsite of what looked like an older man in his 60s, who was living out of his van. We realized that we might be in danger, so we tried to back out without being seen, but the guy somehow caught sight of us and called us over. He seemed friendly and offered us to go check out some park around there. After around 10 minutes of awkward talking, we went back to our campsite. We were thinking about the encounter all night long because the guy seemed strange, but also looked very harmless. In the end, we just forgot about it and went on with the night. After 2 days, we were finally done. We packed our things, sat in the car, and went back to our town. Fast forward 2 months. My friend who was there with me when we met the old man calls me on the phone. He told me to turn my TV on, but when I did, I felt chills down my spine. It was the man we saw that night in the woods. He was on trial for several murders. To this day, I still think about the danger our lives were into during that night. I was camping over the weekend in Big Sur, California with a very good friend of mine. The entire campsite was almost empty, and we pretty much had it all for ourselves. We chose to camp about half a mile from the ocean, in a large open field surrounded by forest. We spent most of the evening sitting around the campfire and telling random stories. After a little while, we finally got tired and ultimately decided to go to sleep. Around 1 in the morning, something startled our dog. She is usually very calm, and she is not afraid to be in the woods, since she had spent a lot of time there with us. However, this time was different. She was pulling on the leash, desperately trying to cut it loose. She managed to rip it, and she ran across the fields and into the forest, with me and my friend running behind her. We found her laying in a small clearing, so I picked her up and carried her back to the camp with us. We all hid inside the tent, but the dog just didn't want to lay down and she was constantly staring at one of the tent walls. At this point, my friend and I were already on the edge, because this was completely odd behavior for our dog. Then we heard a high-pitched laughter from outside the tent. We held our breaths and hoped that it was a wolf hunting its prey. Then we also heard screaming shortly after the laughter. Our car was parked too far away for us to make a run for it, so we just sat there until the laughter faded away. I still don't know what that sound was, and I'm just thankful we got out of there alive. I was a very accomplished camper and survival enthusiast. I enjoyed going on solo trips for 2 weeks or so, completely on my own. I would usually stop at a store to buy some needed supplies, and that was it for people. After that, I was only seeing bears, moose, and other wildlife, but that was all. I spent most of my time reading books and traveling around. During each trip, I would take 10 to 15 disposable cameras with me. A couple days after one of my trips, I took the cameras in to be developed. Later, I got them back and decided to look through the photos while relaxing at my home. Once I got to the sixth picture, I almost had a heart attack. Every third or fourth picture was a picture of me sleeping on a different night. I swear I didn't see anyone else anywhere I went. After that, I never went to another camping trip alone. Even my husband was not able to take me anywhere near the woods.